Today's tactical enhancement is black beer. Today we're playing Warhammer 8th edition. Far too many players. What the fuck is going on?
So we're playing Triumph and Treachery, 5 players, everyone's got 1750 points. It's a slightly different one, so it's all against all. The aim of the game really is to backstab, steal, annoy people as much as possible. The turn sequence quite different, so there's phases, so each of your phases, so combat, shooting, magic, you need to choose an enemy player, and you can only affect those players in that phase. There are lots of silly cards, there are lots of silly rules. The aim of the game is to get as many victory points or coins as possible, but you can use those coins to bribe other players, to buy their cards, or to do anything you want really. So the aim of the game really is just to kill the other players, but also backstab as much as possible.
Lovely. All right, and I believe you get points for being as close, like the closest person to this tower here.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the person who's in the worst possible place on the table happens to be right next to the tower, so silver linings, I suppose. And you get victory points for smashing shit on any given turn, right?
Yeah, you get victory points or coins for killing stuff. So if you kill 100 points worth of stuff, you get 100 coins.
Lovely. All right. Well, we've got 5 armies on the table. Let's go through them. Emilio, talk us through what you got.
Okay, so we've got Chaos Dwarfs, 1,750 points. The Infernal Castellan, who's my general, he's actually in with the Hobgoblins. So for those people that are familiar with Chaos Dwarfs, these actually are goblins, but they're sort of like more sort of chunky, blocky looking goblins. I've sort of swapped them out and made them Hobgoblins. But he's in there, so that's the big boy general right at the front. The other thing the guys don't know is that in that front row, I've actually got Hobgoblin cards. So these guys are my heroes. So there's 3 of those, plus a full command as well, and a total of 35 Hobgoblins in there, plus that leadership group. If we're looking at the Bull Centaur, this is tour up. And he's a hero in that particular group, and he's got a great weapon, and also the Bull Centaur Rendors. So there's another 3 of those that are helping him out. A nice fast little block. There's the Infernal Guard over the other side. There's 11 of those fellas, and one of them's got they've got the fire glaives, and one's got the death mask. This big boy at the front, this is the Cadet, which is my destroyer. So he's the most expensive thing I've got on the field, 325 points.
It's worth flagging, they never actually made the model, so they suggested this is one of the items you can use to stand in for it.
Yeah, and he fits the description, oversized giant bull, I guess.
So we just got to set the fucker on fire, really.
Well, he's already on fire, and of course he'll actually have other benefits as well. But he's got a chance of actually hurting himself, 1 in 6 D3 wounds after the second turn. The war machines now at the back here. I've got my my Dreadquake mortar, and I've upgraded to include a Slave Ogre. And in combination with that, I've also got my Demon Smith Sorcerer, who's a level 1 wizard, and he actually will assist that war machine. So if I get a misfire, I get to re-roll one of my dice, and clearly I'm going to re-roll a misfire, or he can use his magic. And the other war machine I've got there is the it's Death Shriddler, a rocket launcher, and that thing's particularly good at doing a broader attack or a single penetrating attack. All up, I'm really quite happy with this army, and I'm also very happy about where I've deployed this morning.
Yeah, you've got a sweet spot there, quite a bit of shelter from my cannon line.
Well, I've seen there's 2 cannons in this, so you've got a building and a tree, which from beginning of my deployment, I'm safe, I think, from those 2 cannons for most of my army. So that's a really good start for me. But I'm not going to brag too much because these guys will gang up on me. So just that I'm safe for my first turn, I think, for most of my gear. And range, I'm doing very well. I've got a combo of foot troops, fast-moving troops, and missile fire, which I think for this game is trying to best manage the situation, knowing about the other four armies on the table.
I've got one question. How many actual Chaos Dwarfs are there in your Chaos Dwarf army?
So we've got a core group over there of 11 Inferno Guard and a big block of Hobgoblin core. It's a very small group.
Yeah, so I was just doing the math, and you got 11 there, some characters and 2 war machines. I think you got about 18 actual Chaos Dwarfs in your Chaos Dwarf army, and the rest is other creatures.
And that's what you do.
Fucking slave-mongering bastards.
Well, Hobgoblins are cheap and Chaos Dwarfs are expensive, and this is the trade-off.
But all of their lives are cheap, that's the important thing. What do we got here in the woodies?
So I've got, I've taken some stuff I never usually take. So I've got a Trim Ancient, level 4 Life Mage.
Ouch.
I've got a Branch Wraith with the Dryads. Then I've got 2 units of Glade Guard, 2 units of Way Watchers, 2 units of War Dancers, 3 Warhawk Riders, 2 Eagles, and then a Fire Mage on a Eagle.
Oh, that's a lot of very elite stuff. And you've got the poison going on where you can, as I understand it.
Possibly.
Possibly. All right, lovely. Okay, less lovely. Oh my fucking god, what do we got?
Here we have the veritable Skaven horde. So we've got Grey Seer leading the army on a bell.
What level is that prick?
He's level 4. He doesn't come in any other flavour. He is level 4 all the time. Comes
Right.
with 4 Warpstone tokens straight up. So 4 extra dice if I choose to use them, but can rebound and cause wounds. As well as I think I've given him the Shadow Magnet Trinket, which affects missile fire towards him and his unit. The bell obviously can ring and cause all sorts of disastrous and hilarious effects across the table. Supporting in that unit, we've also got a Warlock Engineer with a Doom Rocket, which can go either hilariously well or hilariously badly. All sorts of things can happen.
All right, so
And a Battle Standard Bearer. So
it's like a casino with rats.
absolutely. Are we feeling lucky? Supporting this, we have the mainstay units of the Skaven army, which is 2 big blocks of clan rats, one with spears, one with shields, shields and hand weapons.
Okay.
Also, the mainstay is two blocks of Skaven slaves, which are completely useless, pointless, worthless.
The other ones over there.
Can occasionally save someone else's life, which is their purpose. We've got some weapon teams attached to the different Skaven units, which are a Plague Wind Mortar and a Rattling Gun. So Rattling Gun has some hilarious mechanics where you can keep rolling dice as much as you want to generate the number of shots. As long as you're getting different numbers, it's all good. If you roll a double, everything goes to pot. So, aside from that, we have some rat swarms, just as cheap redirectors. We've got some giant rats there in a fast flanking unit. A Watt lightning cannon up the back as the artillery. And in reserve, we have a Doom Wheel, which I've chosen not to bring onto the board first turn because it would zap my own stuff. So we'll see what happens with that turn too. And some sneakily infiltrating gutter runners.
Beautiful. Okay, and then we have, I want to film them for this side so it'll look better. We have a whole bunch of Dark Elves.
Yes, we do. So I went with a heavy cavalry force, the idea of a lot of maneuvering between players, a lot of getting around the sides, and then I spawned right next to it. And the big horde army.
Oh, yeah.
With a nice big piece of terrain that I can't get through.
Look, for later, when you're no longer playing, there's plenty of beer in the...
So I have a Master BSB and a block of Spearmen. I have Sorceress next to Doomfire Warlocks that are rapid painted and terrible. I have 2 units of Dark Riders. There's another one in reserve. Simple unit of Dark Shards.
Close up of these pretty boys.
Yep. 2 units of Cold One Knights, and then a unit of Witches in reserve.
Okay, beautiful.
And there's a single bolter who's going to die immediately.
Well, I hope he gets to kill something first. Where
Yes.
There he is. All right.
See if I can roll better than a 1.
All right. And in my force, I've got 2 cannon who are sitting on a convenient room building up there. I've got 24 box standard warriors with great weapons and shields. 24 box standard warriors with shields, and the army standard bearer's got a thing that makes them a bit harder to shoot. And we've got 24 Longbeards with shields and great weapons, and the hero level character who's got a whole lot of shit to keep him alive, and a big wumpy stick. And off table we've got 10 miners. And we've got a gyrocopter hiding in the corner there. I've got no idea what the hell I'm going to do with it at this point, but he's in the fray as well. So that's it. That's a flying fuckload of points on the table. The casualty pile is going to be spectacular.
I've also just come up with a D12 random table. So any of the ruins, so the grey buildings, if you would like to see what's in them, one of your units can search in them. And there's a variety of effects going from unit takes D6 strength 4 hits on the 2 to gold or coins, victory points, to 3 chaos trolls coming out of there, all the way up to, for a double 6, a vampire lord with red fury and quick blood coming out. And when they come on the board, they're going to be attacking the closest unit, but they can also be bought with victory points if someone wants to buy that unit.
I'm thinking searching this gun platform.
I don't think I want to
Not
search.
a very good idea.
Yeah. Now, do you want to say something about the mercenaries for this game?
We're not having mercenaries apart from those units
The random
coming
shit,
in.
right.
I think there's probably enough random stuff going on at the moment.
All right. Look,
Sorry.
at this juncture, I might check in at the end of turn 1, although I suspect some fucked up shit's going to happen. I may have to interrupt the normal sequence of play to explain.
Yeah.
Who's the best to explain it?
So, turn 1, player 1, Skaven. They moved up, they charged this, they charged some little rats into there. Someone's going to have to explain this. Basically, in the magic phase, this little fucker up here riding on his belt cast a couple of spells, just a weakness.
failed to cast a spell.
Failed to cast a spell.
Failed to cast Wither to reduce their toughness.
Then Emilio pulled out his
Neutral player card.
player card. So they're random things like, I've got this one, for example. And Emilio's meant that when some other player, not targeting him with a spell, casts a spell, he can make that spell irresistible force. So that, was it Wither or whatever it is on the Dark Elves went ahead. But the Warlock up here had to roll on the miscast table, and he's now level 2. Then Chris's Dark Elves are being targeted through a thing at him which said that the mage is a feedback scroll, so the mage has to roll on his wizard level or be destroyed.
No, it was the Vits scroll.
Alright, okay.
So it turns into a frog.
Oh, okay, that's one turns into frog. Well, yeah, lucky for him he rolled a 1, because after it's turned into a level 2, he's probably not feeling so confident on that one anymore. So that was weird, and we haven't even done the fucking shooting phase.
Does this game work?
Right, so this is confusing
I
the shit out
lost,
of
but I
people.
won, guys. Thanks for that.
In the shooting phase, the Warlocks rocket blasted half of that Dryad unit. They're gone. Then the Gatling gun managed to blow itself up. Then in the melee, this melee is going on. Not much is dying. I think a couple of rats are dead.
Did you do that one?
And over here, there was a Skaven slave unit in combat against these spearmen. It lost, and it went all over the place, biting its friends and foe alike. So that was the end of that. So points have been distributed, and apparently there's some random bit of wackiness that means that the Skaven player... what the fuck happened?
I got a brass victory token for my unit losing a combat.
Righto.
And it's worth 50 points, I guess, 50 gold coin, but the unit's only worth 40 points, so I think overall it's a win.
Okay, well, on that note, that's the end of the first player turn out of 5 for turn 1. We'll check in a minute.
Big 5, yeah.
Dark Elves second player, and they've charged in here and thrown a bit of magic whoop-de-doo around to make these guys a little more piss weak in the fight, but that's okay, we just have to hold out for a turn. We're now shooting at something over there.
100.
The shooting from the Dark Shards took a rank off of those fuckers, but they seem to have stuck around. Right, so the Cold Riders crashed into that unit of dwarf warriors.
Being the operative word.
Cut right through their armour, but then we've got shield wall.
them out?
And well, I'm using Emilio's dice today, and they work better than mine. So that worked a treat.
There you go, they just whiffed.
We'll now see if there's any chance of doing anything back to them.
Oh, that really hurt.
Well, the
you got the charge
Dark
in.
Riders melted as you'd expect, although they actually killed 3 guys. And the Cold Ones only killed 1 bloke failed based on the ranks alone, and rolled really fucking shithouse to run away. So they're all dead. And that's it for them. Now we're on to Emilio's Chaos Dwarfs.
Here we go. Yeah.
So there was no magic for the Chaos Dwarfs, but they did fire this doom rockety thing, and they wasted one dryad. Then they fired this enormous quake mortar all the way down the length of the table, squarely on the tree man.
Yeah.
Here's the tree man, ancient level 4, and blasted away 5 of his 6 wounds. I'm reliably informed that Mark has a fuck ton of life magic, so the bastard may get survive.
Like it when it's bad.
So here we go.
Yeah, but you.
Set of rats, a swarm of rats, and a few clans.
9 points. A bit of shooting, killed a few, like 9 points worth of rats, and they also healed up the tree lord. Is he got all his wounds back?
He's back up to 4 wounds, and he's now toughness 8.
Well, isn't he a bastard?
Yes, he is.
It's worth
We can
noting
have a
that
vote,
Mark
but we know.
decided that his opponent for magic would be Emilio, because Emilio had the lowest level of buff on any of the magic to try and dispel any of it.
And
So that was
rolled
a bit-
best. Rolled really well.
That was-
Did well.
Oh, yeah, and Emilio stopped throwing in vines, actually, which was actually very significant with him. But
Which we're all grateful for.
yeah, none of us wanted that to work. So that's it for the Woodies, and over to the Dwarfs for turn 1. In the Dwarf turn, we charged these guys, and we charged those Dark Shards who ran away. We then fired a cannonball that collected the last of the Dark Elves and then smashed the bell and took 5 wounds off of it. We fired the other cannonball, which landed on the Dark Elves and then stuck in the mud, which is now partially comprised of a squished bloody mud of a Dark Elf. Then in the melee over here, it didn't go the way I expected. These fuckers are lethal. What are they?
Dreamfire Warlocks.
Right. Well, they killed 7 dwarfs, and then he did very well in the ward saves. So
Yeah,
when I hit
just
back,
one.
I only killed one of them. So I actually lost that combat, but we passed morale and we're there. But I think that's this unit of mine may spend the rest of the battle dying at this point. And that's it. That's turn 1. We now have new cards. We get to keep the old ones.
Yep.
All right. So I've got this thing.
So who has the lowest points?
And we'll roll for initiative for the next
So I
turn
have
in a moment.
You and I have the lowest. I am going to
It's
cast.
turn 2, and the Wood Elves went first in this one. The Dwarfs are dead last again. That's nice.
Not unexpected.
I'm going to cast Regrowth on these.
Oh, he's going to get some more of his army back.
And it's cast on a 15.
Oh, come on, Amelia.
And
can
he's
sort that.
So
declared
you've got
Emilio
that,
as his opponent
yeah?
for magic
Because you're
again, because
level 4.
Emilio's not
Yeah.
too
Uh,
well
what
endowed
does
in the
Regrowth
magic
give you?
department.
D3 plus 1 and
Well, the Wood Elves are
He's
hocking magic
got,
around all over the place. The
4+
second
normal.
mage has turned up with all the flappy things over there and has decided to just hop booty shit at
he's just got 4 up ward, has he?
whatever these
Okay, cool.
chaps are here.
So
And we're into the shooting.
I don't think I killed a single model.
Well, after an awful lot of arguing about who the Wood Elves should shoot at, because nobody wants them to shoot at the bell because it's a 1 wound and everyone wants to take the last wound so they get all the points for the bell, Mark decided to shoot at Emilio instead and didn't do anything. How much fucking shit did you throw at the fucking Chaos Dwarfs this turn? Oh dearie. Well, that's it for the Woodies.
Is my magic phase.
The Skaven went next and crashed the bell into this unit
next
of
one,
spear. The slaves took a few casualties
You're
against the
first,
Dark Shards,
Yeah, I'm third.
and the rats are still fighting the
Right.
cold ones. He also brought on the Doom Wheel, which... Now here's the thing, right? You've got to choose who to shoot at and who you magic at. You can only do 1 player per turn. But that fucker's random. It's just going to attack whoever he likes. So he can shoot at, say, the Dark Elves, for example.
No, it has to be closest unit.
Sorry, you can shoot at... You got any other shooting?
I'm about to start shooting now, so
Okay.
I've got the mortar here,
Right.
and the lightning cannon over here.
So in theory, those things could shoot at whatever they like, and it's completely separate from this, which just shoots at whatever the hell is nearest.
Yep.
In this case, War Dancers, which is a really, really nasty thing to do to War Dancers.
I don't like it.
They're not touching anything for
No.
And the magic hasn't done a lot.
100, Emilio's on 150.
Quick correction regarding the magic, they actually
I'm
did
on
get one
100.
star, the Skaven, and it's the one that stops flying creatures from flying, which has really annoyed the shit out of Mark. There we go. In the shooting, what did you kill in the shooting? You blew away 1 War Dancer and...
Yep.
Three-way watches.
Three-way watches. Alright. It doesn't look like a lot, but those are expensive little bastards.
And now it's all this. You did. I'll check how much the master
Dark Elves
is.
managed to finish off the last wound off the bell, so they get all the points for that, even though I blasted 5 of the wounds off last turn. But in return, the Skaven have...
No grudges held about that one, is it?
That's going in the book. But over here, there's been a massive exchange of casualties between the Skaven and the Dark Elves, and the Dark Elves lost and they're fleeing. And they just got away by 1 inch.
And they're gone.
The Horde followed through in pursuit, didn't quite get the spear, but did crash into the Cold Ones, as it turns out. Cold Ones then went and killed the little rats in front of them, and then the slaves who had charged the Dark Shards all fucking died and exploded and shit went everywhere.
I rolled 3 6.
So he doesn't get it.
Yeah, well, yeah, the armor saves are a little bit special there. That could have gone differently.
Like I planned it.
Alright, I think whose turn is it next
I
anyway?
know.
Oh, Dark Elves' turn. Well, this could be interesting.
I think it's
Alright, Dark Elves are manoeuvring. They've brought in more Cold Ones and some Witch Elves over there. This lot secured the combat with these dwarfs again, and they reduced their toughness and strength by what, 1?
Yeah.
That's annoying, and that's about that for the magic. They didn't roll very well. I did try to dispel, but that didn't bloody work either.
how many
Right.
points did you see?
In the melee, you killed what, 8 guys?
Yeah.
So 50 points roughly.
8 times 11, 88 points.
Yeah, so 50 points.
Yeah. Plus another 50 for Lee Moore because he's
So,
done.
And in fact, the standard would be gone as well because they fled.
Oh, yeah.
So it is
that'd be over 100 'cause plus
99
the-
points.
Plus 10 for the standard.
Do we get 10 points for a standard? Because
No.
the actual miniature's 11. But
Yeah, but it's equipment.
Jeez, running away.
I don't know. If someone else have to tell me how that works.
I gave him 10 for my extra standards.
Oh, because he paid the extra points for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you buy the unit upgrade?
All right, yep.
Because it'll usually be
that is
8,
10, so
8
make
or
it
10 or
100
12.
109. So yes, in the melee, he rolled up a storm with the Warlock, mounted Warlock creatures. I did alright in return, but they did what they did.
Yeah.
And I rolled 5, and then a 5 with a reroll, which is exactly what I needed, except for this bastard thing, this card here, which means you add 1 to the combat result, which means I failed by 1 both times. All I can say is that at least we outran these bastards, and we could get a chance to rally and then, I don't know, die another turn, I suppose.
Eat my birds.
Right, so it's the Chaos Twin, and he decided they'd all shoot at me, right? He's manoeuvred his shit up here. He's going to try and get me in the rank while the Dark Elves get him in the left. And he fired the Earthshaker cannon, and it deviated, and he re-rolled it, and it deviated again. He fired this rocket-launching bastard, and that deviated and didn't hit a thing. Then
That's
he fired
his-
all of this lot, all 10 dice, and they all fucking missed, except for one that rolled a 1 to wound. So...
Now, because he can flame up, if he rolled a 6, he would actually hurt himself,
was
but
that.
he didn't.
Okay.
now he's in the melee.
So now I'm actually in combat, but I get
only one charge
D3 extra
to do it.
attacks for this bad boy.
Doesn't he do impact hits?
Yep.
Yeah.
But they go
And the
last,
other guys
don't
have
No,
been
they get
moving
to go
around
first.
because they couldn't get a charge in.
They go before
So the
initiative.
big
One
bad
day
boy
he's
going to get the
actually
redirecting
a,
birdie. He's locked in combat with it.
How closest to the central
they? I win combat, my turn.
In the melee,
Yeah,
the
wait till
enormous
the end.
giant burning thing.
No, I
Killer
won't use it
birdie.
now. I won't use it.
So
Big
you've
birdie.
got plus 100, so you're now on 400.
And the points are racking up. Everyone's getting a few of them now.
I won't use it.
There is a caveat to that, and that's that I'm still on 100 points.
Oh, Mark. All right. Well, geez, you've already had your turn this turn.
You pretty much
Crikey
just
almighty.
shot things and did nothing else.
All right.
That's why you need to
Well,
be aggressive or be tricksy and
I
steal
think
points for
we're
people.
over to the dwarfs now, and we'll start by charging some shit.
Oh, no. Good armies, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been waiting fucking hours to have turn 2, and in turn 2, you can only charge 1 target. So I went after these guys and missed by 9 millimeters. So they're sitting here like dumbasses in front of the guns. These guys couldn't charge anything because, that other shit.
Your controls
These
can
guys
heal
rallied, and then this
side,
cannon
yeah.
misfired and didn't hit anything, and this cannon rolls up 10 shots. But because we got this fucking spell, which means that the gyrocopter can't fly, and shooting's all at -1, we missed every single fucking shot against these cunts.
Yeah, and Chaos Trolls can now have a crack at you.
Well, I want that to happen. Yeah, everything else was rather turned to shit.
It's a flank charge.
That's a nasty flank charge.
Yeah, but dwarves want to be charged in the flank. If you're not fucking them sideways, they're pissed off.
Yeah, you don't get your you won't get your shield parries.
They've got great weapons, they don't care.
Oh, yeah, cool.
At any rate, that was the most uneventful turn that I've had in quite a goodly while.
Yeah, we got the.
Right, so Dark Elves decided to go stacks on the
Slower,
scope.
slower.
Whole lot of shooting, they
Only
did
luck,
nothing.
there's the truth.
What happened in the magic? Anything?
-1 strength, -1 toughness.
-1 strength and toughness to the rats,
So
and it
strength and
stacks
toughness.
on and is going to try and annihilate the rest of that horde.
That amount of.
The banner is like
Okay,
65
so
points.
there's melee shit fight over here. The Skaven came out of it second best. Maybe not a great surprise when you look at the
So
points of
what did
balance.
you kill?
And Skavens have broken and run.
And
Were they caught?
Probably
No,
another
they were not.
50
And they were not
50
caught.
points of
Oh,
Rats
well,
as
they
well.
are very good at running away.
So plus
They get a
150.
+1,
What
I
did you kill,
suppose.
Reese?
I
not
killed a 12, 20,
No,
31.
Not 50.
No, 30 points, yeah.
Steven's running away with it on 750.
Stephen's in the lead.
Wow, Stevens
The
in the
new
lead.
leader.
Okay. Pointy-head bastards are doing all right.
You really want to stop the scorch spell, don't
Okay,
you?
in the
I think I'm gonna
in the
three dice
Skaven
this.
turn,
Just-
their skirmishers have turned up here, ready to start shooting up to
Just
this
so you
guy.
know
I'm over
that
the cannon. Then over here, they've done some
that's,
sneaky
9 plus
reforms,
2,
and looks like the
Done.
Doom Wheel's
Done.
crashing into some war
Still
dancers.
there, mate.
And
Hey, scorch. I'm going to scorch this unit.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the spells are
That's
fine.
pretty good. I'm going to try.
14.
Oh,
13,
let's
14.
come.
Did you get it? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, you got it.
got it.
So, what the hell just happened in the magic phase?
Nothing.
Is the anti-birdie thing still working?
The anti-birdie thing is still working.
Oh,
I
my
did try
God.
to deny it this time.
So my fucking gyrocopter still can't move, and neither can half the Wood Elf army. Nothing else worked, but
Shooting.
they're all suitably stymied.
Got impact hits here.
Yeah.
In the
Cheers.
shooting,
6 impact hits.
looks like they dropped a mortar on the Wood Elves over there and blasted a few more
Strength
dryads.
5. It's strength 5
over
or 6
here,
doesn't matter because you're
These sneaky gits knocked 2 wounds off the fucking gyrocopter, which is most
Which should be
unpleasant.
2s anyway.
I'll be shooting
So
them back
it's
in a
just
minute.
your paint saves. So all of them.
So then we're into the melee, and there's a grinding wheel of doom.
Yeah, Reese is just doing
Crashed
so
into
well.
a dance troupe of
Bang,
ballerinas.
He's going for the points.
And is about to hit them with a blender.
Oh, dearie me.
I can't even fly over.
Alright, so in the melee,
Because of what
not
spell?
much happening against the treatment or whatever the hell is going on over there.
So,
The Doom Wheel
charge,
wasted most of
charge.
the
Actually,
war dancers
yeah.
except for one who just kept dancing and prancing his way around the thing and took a wound off it. And he then
Should
passed
tell
them
you
else, so they're still there.
charge.
Sixes.
Yeah.
Right,
3 sixes.
the Wood Elves are
No
dicing
sense.
like maniacs in the magic. They got the throwing of vines out, and then they buffed the strength of the treeman, who's gone and charged his way into the Doom Wheel.
After miscasting.
After miscasting and getting his 2+ war, because you know, it's
against a
Law of Life.
dimensional cascade.
Ah, Law of Life.
The worst result you
Yeah.
can
Sneaky,
Great
sneaky
for
Law of
else.
Life. Now he's only shot up one of the, what are those things?
Bull centaurs.
Yeah, Bull Center got shot up by the Way Watchers.
So first turn,
he's
that's
pouring
one.
arrows and all.
Just a second.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do these one at a time.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be bastard.
What does that do?
So you have to re-roll hits.
Okay.
Successful hits.
Cool.
And also they're fear causing, so don't you're shooting into a fear causing
No,
enemy.
no. Okay.
It's only combat.
So there's dice flying around all over the place trying to
So
kill the
we
Bull
roll.
Centers
So
at the moment.
3s.
Right, in the shooting they bumped off a couple of things, but really not that much. And then in the melee, the treeman, with his filthy toughness 10, managed to bounce all the grind attacks off of the Doom Wheel, although the Doom Wheel crew did kill the last of the war
fuck.
dancers. But then the
Sorry,
treeman
I was doing
completely...
tree whack completely wrong.
Oh, here we go. We discovered we did something wrong. Yeah, what a
It's supposed to be one
surprise.
attack, isn't it? But you rolled 4 attacks or
No,
something.
no, no. He rolled to hit. Nominate an enemy model in base contact. That model must place an initiative test for such a D6 wins with no armor save.
Oh,
Here we go. We did insist on this.
5 plus.
Initiative test.
You just checked it was 4 last time.
It was, yes. Okay.
Alright.
So I have to roll higher than my initiative.
You need to roll lower.
No,
Than
lower.
Four or
Sorry.
less,
Lower.
four or
1,
less.
2, 3,
Otherwise you
4.
cop it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
Alright, so you touched it. Alright, that was anticlimactic. I was rather hoping... rather than hoping
Listen,
to
Mark,
see
stop the
some
game, everybody, because this is what's going to
rules
happen.
distraction. Okay, on that note, it's over to the dwarves, finally.
The ogre gets 3 attacks.
In the dwarf shooting, we tried to blast these little pricks, and he had some token that meant it wasn't allowed to.
Some skullduggery.
Then we managed to fire 2 cannon at that lightning throw over there, and that's toast. So we got something
Just done
finally.
his attack.
And then in the
More likely
melee,
to break
these
up.
dwarves smashed this cannon, actually mostly because we attacked from the back. That's actually a pretty tough thing to
If you
destroy.
hit those, you'll
And then the
overrun
Longbeards
into
crashed
maybe
right
try that
through
one.
the Chaos Dwarf shooters, and the last guy's running with no chance of a rally. On the other hand, it's Emilio's turn, and I am standing right in front of a fucking cannon, so we'll see what happens.
Take on you first, strength 4.
The Chaos Dwarf
Force,
turn,
yep,
they dropped a
No.
screaming
No
rocket
save,
launcher
so
of some
she
sort
takes
from
one
these
wound.
guys and killed 4.
Then I've got one
Which is
attack.
quite fortunate, really.
Reroll for.
Landed right in the middle and hit quite a few of them.
North.
17 hits.
So then you get to hit me.
Alright,
And now they're
D3 on
in
the
the
frenzy.
melee over here. The mage is dead, apparently.
So another 1, so I get 7.
Who's biffing who here?
3,
Oh, this is eating my mage.
Oh, that's going to be badly for the mage, I would think.
Okay, well, weapon skill 5. So I'd say don't roll a 2.
Yeah,
It's gonna be roast
So
chicken tonight.
basically there's 6.
Got those guys.
Alright, so
Oh.
big,
All 9, they're going to
the
run.
mage and the bird
They're
is
gonna run.
toast.
They're off the
And
table.
A big burning demon thing that looks like a beastman object
I reckon they might
has
be.
turned to face the other birdies, but they just failed their
regular
panic
elves, as they
test,
should be.
and they're right on the edge of the table.
I think they are. Yeah. they're
Yeah,
off
your
the
leadership's
table.
not 9, they're off. And then does that mean I keep
So they're
going?
gone.
No, you can't do anything. That was just a
I
panic
get points
check.
for that, that's good.
Oh yeah, you definitely get points for that.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so we'll work out the next combat. So these guys cause fear.
So do the dryads.
Alright, so we're even on that. What about the guys in
Oh,
front?
sorry,
Oh,
you're hitting the. I think
Yeah,
they're immune
hit them
to
first.
but I'll have a look.
They're going to do a
I'll
test.
roll a fear test just in case. No, they fail.
Yeah.
So now I actually. Got
So your weapon skill.
Where's your army standard
Weapon
bearer?
skill's 1 or something,
Yeah.
is
I
it?
don't have one.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, so my guy.
D3.
That's the next two.
Alright,
they're not
and
engaged.
the monstrous cavalry,
Yeah,
whatever the hell
it's
they're
messed
called, they have taken out the
No, it's
Way Watchers
centered on
and crashed
people
through to the
of
Dryads.
Wood Elves with the
stomped all over them. Actually, the last one ran forward.
Yep.
So
You were
at the
like-
end of
you were
turn
like
3, the table has
blazing at
been
the beginning.
suitably
And then you
depopulated.
can see how things
Oh,
Uh,
go.
absolutely.
Emilio has cleaned up the flank on the Wood Elves over there. We're in the ranks of the Chaos Dwarfs over there, and it's looking rather grim for what's left. There are all shit fights starting to unfurl on the back of the dwarf line here. Doesn't bode too well, actually, depending on how we go with sorting out these chaps. The casualty exchange over here has been suitably spectacular. Fucking hell.
I reckon the Dark Elves
Kicking the
did well
shit out
to
of
survive.
Yeah,
Because they were in a bad position.
Oh, fuck, dude, you're in the lead last.
yeah.
But if it was only a 2-turn game, you would have won because you just always
So you're
points.
cleaning up.
Now, Chris, there is a new rule here. You're not using my dice anymore.
Well, I think there's another new rule here. You're not using your dice anymore. Although your misfires and so on have been pretty
Yeah.
hilarious. So what's the wrap up? What the fuck do we say happened?
So, Chris.
So gotta mention that fucking spell, right?
Yeah, so I think MVP goes to that fucking spell, the Skaven spell, Murderous Walkdale,
That
Yeah.
bastard
which
thing.
effectively trapped my entire army in a corner for the whole game and meant they made them completely unable to move.
Well, it also meant my
Oh, it's fine.
gyrocopter couldn't do anything the entire game.
Everyone's missing so many extra shots.
Everyone's shooting just got nerfed.
Oh
yep.
yeah, I
also-
should have
yeah,
blasted
say
these
these
guys
guys
with
would be
canister, and that didn't work for that spell. Yeah.
I would call these guys second MVPs for just holding up the entire flank by
Oh,
themselves.
they wasted what's 24 minus 6? They wasted 18 dwarf and caused what was left of them to back off instead of fighting.
For a 5-man light cavalry.
Now, the second I've got to get second prize because twice I stopped that spell from a level 4 wizard by a level 1 wizard just to help everybody out.
Yeah, taking it for the team.
It went off the third time, but I did stop it twice with a level 1.
I can genuinely say that my 1,750 points of Wood Elves killed 3 clan rats.
And you're in the forest as well.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Elite archers go home.
Oh no, I killed a swarm as well, actually.
You also killed
Gosh,
one of the.
One of the bull centaurs.
Oh my god.
That's amazing. That's the best. That's the best I've ever played.
I figured that I wasn't keen to take a really shitty based army because I thought, what? There's 5 players. Some bastard's guaranteed to have one of those spells that stops you.
And that paid.
So coming a very close 5th position with 100 coins, which I got for killing something in 2 turns, and I just got.
I don't want to interrupt, but I'm also getting an additional 100 points for being
That's going to
that's
bring it in a little
so
bit.
I've
That means it's second or third place.
So I'm coming in at a close 5th. Emilio comes in with 850, which is pretty good.
Pretty respectable.
Quite achiever.
Especially since it was 300 last time we checked.
In the end, I used a few cards and got some victories over. But if it was another turn, I probably could have got a bit of a sweep on this side.
Oh, that's right. You're
Absolutely.
cleaning up.
So thanks to you, your treeman's engaged. So it was just an open hand to sweep.
Reese comes out at 900 in 3rd place. Stephen with the 100. I reckon you actually missed a turn as well.
Yeah.
So you are coming up with 1,200 points, but
Whoa.
Chris just ekes it out at 1,250.
Yeah.
Holy
Well
shit,
done.
that's close.
Yeah. Considering that last turn.
Boring slow
yeah,
dwarves, and then no shit. You should have come in here and not made room for it.
I know, right?
If it wasn't for those cold ones rolling a 4 for their runaway, after doing all the damage and having no damage back and still breaking.
That was hilarious.
This Chris is just quiet in the corner. quiet
I
slow
think probably
dwarves.
half of my points are attributable to Emilio's dice.
Yeah.
He did roll well, didn't he? He rolled well.
Except for saves. His saves were terrible except for that first turn.
Yeah, that's true. After we got those shield saves out of it, yeah. So, gentlemen, what have we learned?
Triumph and Treachery is pretty fun.
That was fun.
If more Doomfire Warlock.
Yeah, very cool rule set. Very good. If you, as long as you get involved in the gameplay of it, it's a very cool rule set.
Yeah, it's really silly. It's good.
Well, that was a blast and a half. Thank you, gentlemen. That was a hell of a good day. As for anyone who's still watching, feel free to hit like, subscribe, and all that guff. And time to call it a day.